Good morning, my fellow humans. Today, I want to talk about what it's like to live in Trump's America. Now, today is January. We're getting towards the end of January. It's January 27th. America has a new president, Donald Trump. I did not vote for him, and he is making a lot of changes. And I'm not going to fear mug. I'm not going to try to scare anybody. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I do have some concerns about living in America under Trump's administration. I have some concerns. But since I'm alive, I feel positive that maybe we will make it out of this. I hope, fingers crossed. But anyways, the Christian nationalists, a lot of them are feeling really bold, and I'm talking about white Christian nationalism. Some of them, I listen to some of them speak, and some of them who are talking, some of them are saying that they feel as though God's hand is on this administration. Some of them are saying Donald Trump is God's pick. And a lot of them are praising God for Donald Trump. And some people are saying that Donald Trump is the second Messiah. And there's been some crazy books about how exciting some Christians are about Donald Trump. Now, not all Christians, but some of them are just over the top excited about Donald Trump. This is what happened when you mix religion and politics together. You get a mess. You just get a huge mess. And then we have this down in Oklahoma. There's a superintendent in Oklahoma, and what he wants to do is he's the school superintendent. He's in charge over the public education in that state, and what he wants to do is put Trump Bibles in the public school. So not only does he want to control, his own kids and his own Christian kids, he want to control public school kids that go to public school. He wants to put the Trump Bible in the public school and spread his version of Christianity and force kids to be patriotic. I don't think kids should be forced to be patriotic. I think children, should have the right to think for themselves if they want to be patriotic or not. That's what I think. But to force feed Christianity, a certain version of Christianity, on public school children, and to force them to read the Donald Trump Bible, and to force the Donald Trump Bible in public schools, I think that's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. I'm a fan of secularism. I'm a fan of, separation between church and state. That's what I'm a fan of. But the secular community needs to get stronger, because the Christian nationalists, they are just acting very bold right now. I mean, they're getting very bold, and they're pushing their agenda, and they're pushing their thoughts, and they're pushing their religion onto other people, and it's just not right. So here we go. This is what's happening under Trump's America. Mass migration. Donald Trump said that he wants to do a mass migration. He wants to get undocumented immigrants out of this country. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that. I'm living in Tennessee right now. I'm living in Jackson, Tennessee, and we have a lot of undocumented immigrants here, and I have been living in peace with them. I have no problem with the Mexican immigrants in Tennessee. I have no problem with them. I see a lot of the men working. They're working and they're building new houses in this neighborhood. So I'm living in a subdivision, and there's been some houses that are being built by Mexican men. Some of them are immigrants. I hear their heavy accents, which is wonderful. Diversity is good. So they have their accents. They're playing Mexican music as they work on building these lovely homes. They have good skills. I go to Walmart and I see these workers in Walmart, and we're shopping and we're buying things, and I have no problem with them, and they have no problem with me. These men are working hard, okay? These Mexican immigrants are working very, very hard, building these beautiful homes. They are doing a good job. I don't have a problem with that. But I also heard that not all, but I heard that a lot of Mexican Americans, and I know a woman who is Mexican American, and she voted for Donald Trump. And she should never did that because her mom is a illegal immigrant. So she kind of voted for her mom to get kicked out of this country. So yeah, a lot of people did vote against their interests. A lot of people did that. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, at this point, you know who I voted for. I don't have a problem telling you. I voted for Kamala Harris. Okay, that's who I voted for. And so we have a lot of misogyny in this country. And I don't blame the man for it. They're not fully to blame. A lot of women have participated in misogyny. And let me explain. A lot of women think that other women should not be in charge over anything. They think that we should just let man run things. We should only let man be president. A lot of women think that. And it has something to do with religion. Religion plays a role in it. A lot of Mexicans are Catholic. And the Catholic religion is more of a male-dominating religion. And so is Christianity. Christianity in the New Testament talks about man being in charge and women should be quiet. And the New Testament said that it is a shame for a woman to speak in church. A woman must learn in submission and quietness. So I don't believe in the Bible. I do not believe in that. Okay? I believe that some women are smart enough to lead. And so, yes, I did vote for a woman. But a lot of other people, because of misogyny, they just felt like voting for a man, especially since a lot of people think that Jesus is a white man who died on the cross to save the world. So a lot of people think that a white man is a savior because Jesus is a white man who's a savior, and Donald Trump looks closer to Jesus, and Kamala Harris is a woman, she partially black, partially Indian from India, and a lot of people, don't want to see that kind of leadership. But with that kind of mindset, it kind of stops progress it kind of stops us from moving forward. So with this mindset that only man should be in charge, only man should run things, we're kind of stunting our growth because some women are qualified to be leaders. I don't care what the Bible says. I don't care what the Catholic Bible says. I don't care what the Quran says. Oh, speaking of the Quran, a lot of Muslims voted for Donald Trump. Now, remember back in 2016 when Donald Trump did that Muslim ban? Yeah, Donald Trump did a Muslim ban. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do another Muslim ban. So some Muslims, they did not want to vote for a woman. Some probably did, but a large portion of Muslims in the United States voted against their own interests. They did not want a woman leader. And some of them are probably mad at Kamala and Biden. But Donald Trump, I'm pretty sure he's going to do another Muslim ban because he did one before. He already did one. So, yeah, they voted against their interests, okay? The Mexican Americans and the Muslim Americans and a lot of women in America did vote against their own interests. And Donald Trump, he's doing something silly. He's probably going to humiliate himself on the world stage. He said he wanted to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now, here's something silly that happened. Marjorie Taylor Greene got angry at the English people for not acknowledging what Donald Trump wants to do about the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf of America. Donald Trump cannot control the English people. He cannot control any other people outside of this country. You know, if other people don't want to acknowledge the change that Donald Trump is trying to make with the Gulf of Mexico, they don't have to. The president of Mexico, she said in Mexico, we will not be acknowledging that change. It's going to stay the Gulf of Mexico for everybody else in the world except for America. Okay, so everybody else in the world is going to say it's the Gulf of Mexico, and the people in the United States, they're going to be the only ones to say it's the Gulf of America. Isn't that silly? That's silly. Hillary Clinton was laughing when Donald Trump said that he's going to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. She was laughing. She was laughing at that because I don't know if he has the power to do that, you know? So, yeah, not sure about that. So, anyways, on to the next thing. There was a bishop, a woman bishop, who stood up to Donald Trump. She kind of called him out. She did call him out. She told him that there were some people who were afraid. She said that there were some people who were members of the LGBTQ community who were afraid. She said that there were wonderful immigrants who were afraid. And she spoke her mind. Now, some people in Donald Trump's administration said that this woman bishop should be kicked out of this country. And I'm like, no, she has freedom of speech. She said what she needed to say. And I'm proud of her for being bold enough to talk about loving thy neighbor. Isn't loving thy neighbor, isn't that a good thing to talk about in church? I don't think she should be criticized for that. But she was by some people within the Republican Party. Kind of weird. So, but anyways, Donald Trump, he is trying to target certain people. He wants to change what it really means to be a citizen. So, in my mind, and also according to the Constitution, in order to be a citizen in this country, all you have to do is be born here. If you are born in America, you are an American. That's how it should be. I'm just looking out the window. I thought I heard something. But if you're born in America, then you should be a citizen. According to the Constitution, yeah, people who are born here can and should call themselves American. And Donald Trump wants to say that if an illegal immigrant has a child that's born here, that child cannot be a citizen. Excuse me? No, if you're born here, it doesn't matter the status of your parents. If you're born here, you should be considered an American citizen. It's as simple as that. There's no need to change that. But Donald Trump is trying to change that. So the United States already got rid of affirmative action. So we don't have affirmative action anymore. And so many Christians, I heard so many white evangelical Christians talk about getting rid of affirmative action. Some of them said it wasn't fair. I heard when I was in college, somebody said that affirmative action was reverse discrimination. But reverse discrimination means somebody else started it in the first place. Hello. So anyways, they got rid of affirmative action. They also got rid of some other civil rights issues. They got rid of the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965. I'm going to say it again. Trump's administration, they got rid of Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965. Equal Employment Opportunity Act. This was good for so many different people. It was even good for white American women. Equal Employment Act. It was a really, really good thing. But I don't hear many white women complaining about this act being removed, or they're trying to remove it. This is a problem. Oh, speaking of problems, we have Elon Musk, and you probably seen it on YouTube. He gave the Nazi salute, the Nazi salute that the German soldiers made popular. He did. He banged his heart on his chest. And I'm not going to do the salute. I'm not going to do the salute. It would not be good for me to do it. But Elon Musk gave the Nazi salute, and he is also considered to be the co-president of the United States, and he might have an office within Trump's inner circle. You know, he might have an office in the White House. There's a lot of concern about that. I hope I'm wrong. I kind of feel like I'm living in KKK USA. What the heck is going on? You know, we have a crazy man, Elon Musk. He's extremely rich. He might be the richest man in the world. Maybe, I'm not sure. But he's given the Nazi salute, and he's not being corrected. That's a problem. We need to keep an eye on that. We need to keep an eye on what's going to happen to America. Oh, but here's another big problem. There's a man named Andy Ogles. Now, let me tell you who Andy Ogles is. Andy Ogles, he is a Republican congressman, and he's working on changing the constitutional amendment that would allow Donald Trump to be president for a third term. He's trying to change that. So we need to keep an eye on that. If Trump's administration keeps going into the Constitution to change it, we might lose our democracy. Oh, by the way, trying to get Donald Trump to have a third term, that's how dictatorships start. Now, Donald Trump, he's an older man. He's 78 or 79 years old. He's up there. He's close to being 80 years old. So I don't know how many years left he has to live, but we need to be concerned about our democracy. We do. We need to keep our democracy. We need to call out these people when they are wrong. We need to keep an eye on that. We also need to keep an eye on these crazy pastors who think that they can influence Donald Trump and his administration. We need to keep on this eye. Also, let me see, what's this pastor name? I forgot this pastor name, but there's this well-known pastor who's saying that he thinks that women should not have the right to vote. And I hope Donald Trump don't pay attention to this crazy pastor. But he might not pay that much attention to some of these crazy pastors, because Donald Trump, it seems like he might want to focus on his billionaire friends instead. And that could be a problem too. So we got to keep an eye on that. And when we see the bullshit, we need to call out the bullshit. You know, we got to keep our democracy. I hope we do. So anyways, I gave a lot of, scary news. Some people may not consider it scary, but I do, because I'm living in this country. And yeah. But on a funnier note, I want to talk about Jesse Walters, okay? And Jesse Walters, he works for the Fox 6 News, and he is crazy. This man, he really needs some help. Okay, so he gets on Fox 6 News, and he's always, complaining about certain things, and he's always trying to make a point that he's a straight man. He's like really making a point. And I think he's trying to compensate for something that's going on inside his head. So Jesse, okay, he thinks that if a man drinks, he said this himself, if a man drinks a milkshake, and if he has a straw, and if he's sucking on the straw to drink his milkshake, then he looks gay. That's what Jesse Walters says. He thinks if a man drinks a milkshake, that he's gay. That's not what it means to be gay, Jesse Walters. That's not. Oh, he also said that a man should not lick ice cream, because if a man licks ice cream or has an ice cream cone, then he's gay. And then he also says that man should not eat soup in public, because if a man eats soup in public, he's gay. Because he has to slurp, and he has to do something with his lips and lean forward, and he gotta, slurp the soup and all this weird stuff. And I'm like, Jesse, why are you worried about what men do with their lips? He thinks that it's gay for a man to have a milkshake. He thinks it's gay for a man to have an ice cream cone. He thinks it's gay for a man to eat soup in public. Okay, Jesse Walters, who are you trying to convince that you're a straight man? I think he's just trying to convince himself. So I think the people at Fox 6 News should ask him, hey, Jesse, are you gay? Because I suspect that he's gay, and I think it's okay to be gay, And I hope somebody tell him, hey, at his job, tell him, hey, Jesse, if you're gay, we want you to know that we're okay with that and that we support you, let the truth come out. But Jesse Walters, he's just being really funny lately. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this country, but I just wanted to bring some humor, talk about, how silly Fox 6 News is. And a lot of these mega man, make America great again, man, who are trying to prove that they are so macho and so manly, they have issues of their own, and if a man who claims to be a Christian goes to a gay pride parade to preach at those people and tell the LGBTQ community that they are wrong for being at the gay pride parade, the man who's preaching at those people, guess what? He's gay himself. He's gay himself. When I was a Christian, I never thought to go to the gay parade and preach at those people. I never thought to do that because I was so busy minding my own business. So if a Christian goes out of their way to preach at the gay people, then that's a sign that person is gay themselves. True facts. All right, so I just wanted to leave you with that. I just wanted to talk about what's going on in America. On July 27th, and the last thing I want to say is Donald Trump, he might kick Elon Musk out of the spotlight, because Elon Musk, he's getting so much attention. He's getting so much spotlight. He's being called the co-president. Donald Trump might end up being mad about that. And he might end up doing something about that. I'm just trying to make a prediction. So that's the last thing I want to say about that today. More news is going to happen. Crazy things are going to happen. But we got to stay optimistic. We need to just build up the secular community and let people know, hey, we need to have separation between church and state, because when you mix religion up with religion, you get a big mess, okay? So that's all I have to say about that today, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.